Hey, Facebook. We're just going to take 3 seconds to make sure that we are up and running. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, wonderful. We are live. Awesome. Let's put some music on here. Okay, no, awesome. Awesome. We just want to come on here just to give you a quick life update. A quick update on the podcast, on the Cape Town vacation. Yeah, no, man, sir. Let's start there. So let's start with the flight. The flight over to Cape Town, it was a good one for the fact that we didn't fly, we weren't in the air very long. So we had a layover in Ethiopia. We also had a layover in London coming back. And during my flight, I actually had two seats open. So I was actually really happy about that. You know, when you can sit in a plane and the two seats are just open there, you can turn around. I was just laying. I was really just knocked out. And so arriving in Cape Town, you know what always gets me is when you're in the plane and you're coming down, and when you look out the window, or rather before you look out the window, the captain would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are arriving right now." And when he says these words in particular, it always gets me. He says, "Welcome to Cape Town." Woo! Yeah, when he says that, and then you look out the window and you see Table Mountain, hey, then it hits you. You're finally home. You're finally home. And then the plane lands. And then everyone stands up trying to get their luggage. But they know that once they rush and get their luggage, they're going to be standing there for a minute now because everyone must. Have you noticed this? Everyone is just standing with their luggage now, waiting for everyone to leave. Firstly, waiting for the person at the door to say you can get out. Everyone gets out. And also, if you're on here, make sure to go ahead and shoot any questions that you have. It's good to see y'all on the live. Callie, Michelle, Francois, and all those that also are watching right now. Major salute to you. I just wanted to give you a quick update on how things was. Cape Town vacation, some podcast updates. Let me give it to you quick and dirty right now because I know time is of the essence, and of course load shedding is also a thing. So the vacation, Cape Town vacation, I enjoyed it. Let me share with you what I enjoyed, and let me share with you what I didn't enjoy. So let me start off with what I didn't enjoy. What I didn't enjoy was a shame. The family also felt it. There was 1 or 2 days when it was windy. Windy as it was windy because we were wanting to go to Greenpoint. We actually did go to Greenpoint Park. Now my nephew Aaron enjoys volleyball, so we got the volleyball. Firstly, we were looking for a volleyball, so we drove all the way to Waterfront looking for a volleyball. David next store's a volleyball, Annie. There's no volleyball in Waterfront or anywhere in the surrounding areas that we went to. We went to one other store. And then we decided, you know what? Let's go over to Canal Walk. Went all the way to Canal Walk. Okay, in Canal Walk, we then We then got a volleyball. And we decided, okay, on that day, we're going to go the next day. But we got the volleyball, and we took the volleyball home from Canal Walk, right? When we got it at home. We're all excited. And then we're playing with the volleyball. Boom. We play in the front area there with this grass and trees and whatever. And we're playing, and we come back inside because we're eating, right? And then all of a sudden he feels the ball. Wat kry die ball nou so nou pap nou. So the ball's getting flat and flat. We got a pump. We pump it up. But then we saw there's a little bit of a sticky sneider, Madani. It was probably from us playing outside there. But then we decided, hey, we're going to take the ball back. We took Canal Walk the next day. We were out a lot when I was back. Long story short, the point of the story, we went to Greenpoint Park the following day because this is the day when I go play now volleyball because we got the volleyball. And then the wind was so busy. I'm not sure. If you're from Cape Town, do you remember there was one day, it was a Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, that it was so windy. So that was the one thing I didn't really enjoy. Something minor. But all of this will just be minor, right? Because it's Cape Town. But of course, with that being said, one thing I've noticed with hot weather and cold weather, when I traveled over, number one, jet lag. I think that my jet lag lasted a couple of days. You could say probably 4 to 5 days. And I'll tell you why, because I'm not sure if it was the weather or it was the jet lag or a combination of the two. But I felt so tired. Like come 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Because moeg. I think it's also for the fact that I wake up early. So I'll be up like at 6:30, 6 o'clock side, 6:30, just relax a little, still in bed, and then get up at 7. So you're up from 6 all the way till 9. But I never feel that tired when I'm here in Canada. And I think it's mainly because I think it's the weather. Hulle sê die weer put jou uit. Do you experience that too? When it's hot in Cape Town? And even if you're watching this and you're from Canada, does that happen to you too? When it's warm, you're just so lethargic, man, so tired. But specifically, you just want to go to bed early. I don't know. Let's talk about a couple of things that I liked, and I'm sure a couple of things that I didn't like will also come to mind. So, as always, my sister-in-law Rosina, she makes. So we had we ate out for a couple of days, and also a couple of days we made food at home. So she made a lamb curry with roti, so some roti. Some curry. Some lekker curry. Oh, man. And she bought this roti at the Bacon Cook. Hey. That roti was so lekker. It was lekker because it was so soft, man. And stretchy. Like, when you have pita bread and when you break it, it just breaks easily. But this one, when you break it, it stretches a little, man. Yeah, the elasticity, the neuroplasticity. That's a sign of a good roti. And with them, of course, the mutton curry was some. This is going to become a food session right here. What you call it, man? With some chutney on. For me, when does this ever happen to you? Let's say you're eating out at someone else's place, right? And they bring you got the food, and then you ask them for sauce. So can you bring me, can I have some chutney or some ketchup or some sweet chili sauce? And then people look at you like, hi, late Jenny di Cosi? Oko, such a no sauce or because. But say Chantal, it falls off the bone meat. Yeah, near them. Firstly, there mustn't be bones in the roti in the curry. But if there is, if there is bones, then it's that fall off the bone kind of meat. Yeah, it's always lekker. But then you're asking people for sauce, right? Does this ever happen to you, Chantal? You asking people, and then they look at you like, hi, as you kosi daroni, is the food not nice enough? But the thing is, and this is my argument, it's not that the food is not nice. The food is brilliant. But for me, I like variety in foods, man. I like to be able to eat one thing, and I like to be able to take that same thing, put it in a sauce, and then that thing becomes a totally different experience. That's just my argument on that one. It's not that the food's not lekker. It's just variety, variety. And also, I like sweet stuff too. I enjoy sweet stuff. Wat sê hulle hier? I'm a critical eater because I come from a family that can cook. Yeah. Now I hear you. The lamb bone is what gives the flavor. Ian, okay, ons gaan nou ophou van kos praat. Number 2, we went to Fishhoek. Firstly, it was just so nice to see the family, firstly. It was nice to see how the boys are growing. My brother's kids, how they are growing. What we did was, I told them before I came to Canada, I said, I want you to write down 5 questions. It's like an uncle-nephew thing. Like, write down 5 questions you have for Anki. They call me Anki. 5 questions you have for me, and I'll ask you 5 questions. So these 5 questions are like questions that you always had about life, that you had for me, as an uncle. And the first thing that we did, I got there New Year's Eve. The first thing I did was we sat down, and individually we sat down in a room and we chopped it up. They asked me their 5, I asked them my 5. And this was an interesting conversation, and I purposely did this because I really wanted to get into their psychology, to see what they are thinking, and also vice versa, for them to see what I'm thinking also regarding multiple topics, whether it's relationships, finances, friendships. It was good to see my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law. It's good to see the families healthy. And for me, that was a big thing. Good to see that they're healthy, number 1. I know as we get older, especially as parents, we, they suffer from old age, things like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, we're not mobile the same as we are when we're younger. But it's really good to see everyone still walking, talking, smiling. And there's big things coming up, especially for our family, for myself, for our family. Of course, for the church, my dad's the pastor. So a lot of moving parts happening now this year, next year, and the years to come. But specifically these next 2 to 3 years, there's definitely going to be a shift. And when I say a shift, I mean just a shift in life, man, And I already saw a shift mentally, a shift in thinking. And one thing I'm glad for is that, my dad is moving, and it's probably tough for those that has been that is a little bit older to move with the generation, move with the times. And I'm glad my dad has moved with the times, man. And I'm not talking about the superficial things like social media and stuff. I'm talking about the mentality. And actually, my dad has actually been in the forefront, and many people would actually second guess this. He's been in the forefront of actually leading the times, and I think that's a key part of being a visionary, being able to see, okay, what's next, what needs to be done, and then everything just follows suit. So major salute to my dad and everything he's doing. To my brother too, we made some content, for his channel. I guess for both channels, because we put it up for both. It was nice to be able to do a little video vlog in the lounge area. Every day was jam-packed. And also just to hear from my sister-in-law and also my brother, just to hear their vision for their lives and for the family. And it's big. And that's encouraging. That's encouraging. And that's what makes me excited to come back, right? Now, the plan is, of course, to be back next year, 2025, God spares life. And next year, 2025, around April, May, around April side, because I end my contract here around March. We'll see how it goes. Actually, there are some talks. There are some things in the talks right now regarding, the contract end date. However, that's kind of where we're looking at next year, March. Boom, come in April. So that was the family. Also good to see my extended family too, of the Browns, right? My cousins and my aunt. It was nice to be able to have, just to be able to sit in the lounge. And I know you know this as a South African. I think even, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, being able to sit down with your family and just talk to them, without phone distractions or obligations you got to do, just to be able to say, I'm coming over, and the sole purpose is just to come, sit down, and chop it up. For me, that's the pinnacle, straight up. The pinnacle of, for me, what makes a fulfilling day, month, year, and life. Being able to have quality time with no distractions and having candid, uplifting conversations. Real talk. For those that are on here, major salute to you. Let me know that you're on here. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to chop it up with you. Just want to make sure I can see the live. Okay, there we go. So that was spending it with. So when I went over to my cousin's place, my brother's mother-in-law, just call her my grandma, my aunt, family, she made a pineapple fridge tart. Now, I asked her a year prior when I tasted her Friedstadt for the first time. I said, I'm coming next year. I'd love to have it. And she came through. She made it. It was a quality one. When I say a quality one, you can just taste when something's quality. You can taste the ingredients is quality. No? Let's say Chantal now. A lot Snow Bunny in Cape Town, you said? What do you mean Snow Bunny? Is it in the term of a lot of Caucasian women, or is it the actual snow bunny where there's a bunny hopping around the snow? And did you have a Cremora tart? Haven't had a Cremora tart yet. Cremora. I wonder if was that the product where they said it's not inside, it's on top. If you're South African, you probably know it's an old advert on TV. Yeah, anyway, she made a pineapple tart. Boom. The first bite of it. Boom. Hoo-wee. You just know when you take a bite of something, whether or not you can eat the entire buck. And from the first bite, the entire buck was possible. But the thing is, I had one borchie. I took it over to my aunt's place. And then I left the whole buck there. I'm like, I didn't even give my family back home. Ek wil nog 'n tweede stukkie. I need to come back for that. Machine, ons gaan weer ene maak. Dankie. Snow buddies, yes, we call them snow buddies, as in, hey. As in whiteies, hey, you mustn't talk like that on national television, hey. Motart will have pineapple in it. A lot of snow buddies. Well, it's a lot of Caucasian people. Yes, there is. However, Canada is becoming so diverse. Just as Cape Town is becoming diverse, or even more diverse with the foreign nationals coming in, from Zim, from Botswana, from Nigeria, from, Congo. It's becoming diverse. Plus, of course, in Cape Town, the Chinese is also really establishing a footprint there. So just like it's becoming diverse in Cape Town, it's becoming super diverse here in Canada. So, for example, here in Halifax, there's a lot of Indians that's here. There's a large black community that's here. It's really become a melting pot. When I came to Canada for the first time, my preconception of Canada was, there's gonna be a whole lot of snow bunnies, a whole lot of Caucasian individuals. And it's crazy because when we're young, we think of Canada and different places, and we have these weird stereotypes like, hey, there's going to be a whole lot of, individuals living in igloos, because that's kind of the picture that's painted. And I'm sure North America has similar preconceptions to Africa, where, the stereotypes, animals, boom, boom. It's ill infrastructured. But then when you come to a place, you realize, and this is what I realized, because everyone was from everywhere, I didn't feel like an outsider. And that was one of the benefits when I came. It was actually, I didn't feel like an outsider. So that was a major plus coming over here. But getting back on track regarding, it's a good question though. I think you alluding to that also because of the video that I just made, a reel regarding dating, and I'm going to get to that, dating in Canada. Let me get to it whilst I'm here. What's dating like? What's dating been like here in Canada as a mixed race guy that's in the armed forces, being 36 with no kids? What has it been like? in the reel that I made a joke by saying, people has been asking, what do you mean? Because I'm talking on Afrikaans, right? And ek sê ek moet nou I need Afrikaans subtitles for when I speak, but number one for me, it's okay. There's multiple ways I can take this. If you want here now, and you want me to take it in a specific direction, in terms of a specific question regarding me dating in Canada, ask me in the chat right now. But let me give it to you just in general right now. Dating has been, number one, traveling and being in the armed forces, it makes it very difficult to want to have something long term. Now, people has made it work because either A, they're comfortable with long distance. Actually, that's the main reason. They're comfortable with long distance. I've tried it out, a long distance thing in a couple of years ago, and it didn't, I didn't do well with long distance. So that hasn't been something I wanted to pursue, again. So, so being in the Navy, it makes it tough having something long distance. And because of that, it makes it tough having something serious. Now, of course, when I was younger, I've had my fun in terms of having some short-term flings, right? But as I get older, it's like, it gets it's a waste of time after a while. It's a waste of energy, physically and emotionally, right? So when you're at the stage now of where you want something serious, but you really can't because of that factor, but also the other factor of your attraction. En hier kom 'n ding. Wat sê Ezra? Het jy gejoel in Canada en het die goose straight hare gehad? Laugh at laughing for a friend. So for the English speaking patriots, het jy gejoel, meaning did you have any flings in Canada? And did the goose, did the woman have straight hair? You know what? They had straight hair, Ezra. And yes, ik het gejoel. Yeah, ik het gejoel. Sometimes too much for my liking, thinking back, to be frank with you. Yeah, and dan het straight hare gehad. But this is the thing, Ezra. And maybe it's because it's because I've been deprived from my colored woman back home in South Africa. Maybe that's just been it. And because because my family and I were chatting about this, and I said, I'd love to come home and get me find me a nice, a colored woman. Of course, God willing, whatever God, lays on my heart and gives me the spirit of discernment, whether or not, and it doesn't have to be a colored woman. It can be a Caucasian, it can be a black, it can be a Filipino, a Mexican, it can be any kind of woman, like any kind of woman. It just has to be a woman that, major criteria, that we actually connect, man. Just on a basic level. Well, let's connect. Is there chemistry? Right? That's a major criteria. So she doesn't have to be black or white. And I don't know, maybe I need to do a dating show. A driven dating, something like that. But I've always been curious about the whole men and women relationships. Let me know. Should I consider doing a dating show here on this network, and maybe have it in a network where we have Driven Daily podcast, where we have the interviews with with guests, and then the next section, and this was what I was going to talk about with the Driven Daily podcast plans for 2024, is yes, we have the solid guest that comes on every Mondays. Boom. Speaking about guests this Monday, Siv Ngesi, guys, you got to watch this interview. You got to stay tuned this Monday, 8 o'clock South African time, 2 p.m. in Halifax, but 8 o'clock South African time. Award-winning actor, comedian, presenter, producer. You gotta tune in for this. It's going to be right here on Facebook. We're also going to launch it or premiere it on the Facebook channel, Randall Mitchell. But you've gotta be here. You've gotta be here. Can we call in? I think you can call in. I think you can. I remember I've got a call now in the next 3 minutes. Yeah, but they can call in and we can have the call. We can have the call as well. Let me just call in quickly. Let me take this call. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, just to let you know, we are still live on Facebook. I didn't forget about our chat. What I wanted to mention on the chat, Caitlin, was I'm so on board with the proposal. What I will do is, all I wanted to let you know was, whenever I send you the details of what you need to do, you just send me how much you charge. No? Just say, hey, this is how much. There's going to be no questions, no negotiation. You just let me know, boom. What do you think this is fair to charge? So what I will do is, the poster is already set up for this week. We will do next week's poster and then the posters moving forward. But there was other things I really wanted you to see how you can add value in, because it takes me around like 2 minutes to do the poster. So it's not something that takes me a long time. But I'm so on board with the proposal. But what I'll also do is I'll also just shoot you also some other suggestions as to see how you can add other value too, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, totally.
Okay. No, awesome, Caitlin. Thanks for sticking to the time.
No problem. Okay, so we'll chat over WhatsApp.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
Cool.
Okay. All the best in the live, eh?
Thanks, dear. We talk soon.
See you.
Bye.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Okay. What say Ezra? All good, man. We human. Color is no reason for your decision. Love is the ingredient for the success. Sure. Preach it, Bishop. No, awesome. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I was saying that it doesn't matter what color she is. However, I don't know about you, but I don't know if this is just me, but as a woman or guy watching this right now, like when I think of there's just something about a certain, like for example, me physically, I get turned on, for lack of a better word. I get stimulated emotionally, physically by of course there has to be the emotional connection, but there's just something that physically happens when long story short, attracted to my colored woman, boom, to my African woman, boom. Yeah, No other way to put it, eh? No other way, eh? Give it to me right now. I need it. But like I say, listen, it's all about that. It's all about those deeper qualities. But as a human, we all have our weaknesses, man. You know what I mean? Is it just me? Let me know. Let me know, man. And if it's not me, what is your weakness? Say for Mayuk. Let me know I'm not in this alone. Yeah. Yeah, man. So all the dating. So when I am back in Cape Town, whenever those short periods are, what I like doing, I like speaking to the locals. Like, for example, and I'll post a reel up this weekend or in the earlier in the week. I like talking to the locals. Like when I go to a barber, like I went to, I think it's called Edge. I took a photo of it. And me and this guy was talking. So this was actually a cool barber shop in Canal Walk in the mall there. You go in, they ask, what would you like to drink? So you can drink a beer, you can drink, I don't know if they had wine there, or they give you some cool drink. They give you something to drink. So for me, the number one, that was awesome. They sit there in your chair, you have a sip, you cut your hair. The conversation for me is always thing, because I want to know what's the dating scene like right here in Cape Town. Is it similar to North America? Is it similar? Now, let me share with you. What says Chantal? We're a different breed in South Africa. In what way would you say a different breed? I agree with you, but I've got my own preconceptions of what you mean there. What do you mean, a different breed, Chantal? We chop it up. Now, the dating scene typically here in North America is the woman works, the guy works, so there's no issues about money, right? It's not a case of where the woman is with you because, you know what? This is gonna be a long conversation. I think I need to do, yes, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to do a dating and relationship show. I'm gonna have to do it because this is 2 hour, 3 hour conversations right here. Long story short, when I'm back home, I like to see and hear what the dating scene is like, and just on a high level, what I've realized was a woman in Cape Town, a woman in Canada. There are women that are good. Now, this might sound very oversimplified, but I want you to get what I'm saying. There are good women in Canada. There are not so good women in Canada. There are good women in South Africa. And when I say good women, I'm talking about women with, good values. Women that are not, you know what I mean. And there's not so good women as well. So when people talk about, hey, you got to go to South Africa to find your good woman, or you got to go to Canada, or you got to go to the Philippines or Thailand or other third world countries to find good women, there are good women and bad women, similar to guys too. Good guys, bad guys in every place you go. The key here is you got to have a high level of discernment to be super aware of what you're getting yourself into and who's who in the zoo. But I think this just sparked and this just confirmed we got to do a dating show. And I'm going to do a dating show. I think I'm going to I'm going to do I'm going to do the main podcast on Mondays where I interview guests, and then I'll do a dating show. I'll do a dating show on Wednesdays. I think I'll do Wednesdays or Thursdays, but do a dating show where people can call in, ask your questions, but have a topic, call in, boom boom, we chop it up. Yeah, it was sparked right here. So what do you say? Chantal says you can't find us anywhere but in South Africa. True. Let's say Monique. The Alberta women are beautiful, my guy. Come visit. Really, huh? What makes the Alberta woman so beautiful? What is it about Alberta? Or are you just representing them, Monique? Huh? Ezra say some of the most bad... Some of the most bad women and men is in the church. Hulle is oral, Ezra. They are everywhere, including the church too. From a pastor's kid. Monique says, I think I might be, yes. Yep, you are representing them, Monique. Yeah, so coming back to Cape Town, just observing the land like Moses, seeing, hey, what's the territory looking like? Wat gaan aan hier? Huh? Hoe is dit hier? Huh? As die mense vuil hier so, huh? Doen die mense vir jou dirty hier so? Yeah, we gotta survey the land. And I must say, when surveying the land when I was back, the land was surveyed. It was surveyed. And, when I was leaving the barbershop, I asked the lady that was working at reception, I asked her, what's dating like in Cape Town, right? And I wish I recorded this, but she said a lot of things, but the crux of the matter that she said was, the first thing that came out of her mouth was, and my nephew was standing there, and she said, it's so much fun. And I asked her, what do you mean? What do you mean fun? She said, there's so much to do. And yes, in Cape Town, there's just so much, and it's so beautiful, man. You can go on hikes, you can go on, sunset cruises, you can go on shark cage diving, the landscape is just so beautiful. Yeah, jy moet geld hê, yeah. But there's so much to do, which makes it so much fun. Real talk. Yeah, I always say Cape Town is one of the most romantic places on this planet. Now, I haven't been to many other places, but from the places I've been to, which is Cape Town, and a little bit of the US and Canada, Cape Town, hands down. And I think why also is because, especially when you come from Canada to Cape Town, the currency exchange, it's a bit stronger, so you really get to do things, especially the food and you eat and drink like a king when you, of course, come from the currency, but still, man, yeah, it's the truth, Monique. It's the truth. Yeah, so that's the plan. You know what? You might find me. I might end up being with a non-SA woman, and that's okay. Hey, don't hold me to it now. Hey, don't say you said on a podcast and you clip this out. You say, I want a colored woman and nou is jy met 'n wit vrou. Wat gaan aan, Randall? Wat gaan aan? Yeah, like I say, at the end of the day, it's about who you connect with, who you vibe with. And It doesn't matter what skin color she is. Does not matter, yeah? And Lekker J for those that are on here right now. Awesome that you're sticking with me right here. So we spoke about Cape Town vacation. So let me just touch on the podcast quickly. So like we know, Mondays we have this Monday. Listen, we gotta be there this Monday. We have a major guest, probably and we're gonna be having big guests coming. From here on out, the first guest we are kicking off, which is gonna be Sivin Gersi. You've seen him on your TV screens. You've seen him on social media. I'm excited to talk to him. And you know how I go. We go down and dirty. We really get in the crux of things. He's coming up next week. The following week, we're going to have a big one. The next one, we're going to have a big one. Hoo-wee! Listen, you're going to see some people you've seen on TV. And God has really just been blessing my communication with individuals I'd love to have on the show. No guest has ever said no. Everyone that I've reached out said yes, or they haven't responded, right? So in terms of they don't see it, because on Instagram you can actually see who sees it. Or maybe they've seen it when they just pull down the phone screen but don't respond to it. Whatever the case may be, God has really blessed the communication. And you got to stick tuned, because we're going to have some deep conversations with people that you know dearly. Awesome. Wat luister jy, Chantal? Jy sê, ek luister maar. Yeah, luister maar. So, and now I'm really, really hoping and thinking of doing a dating segment in the week too. So we have the main on Monday, and then we have the dating show in the midweek. Maybe we do it the weekend. I want some time, so maybe Wednesday/Thursday we do a dating segment where have people call in dating questions, relationship questions. Boom, boom. Okay. We've covered dating in Canada. We coming home 2025. Let me put that caveat in. Whether I date a colored or whether I date any other race, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. But I actually look forward to the dating show. I really actually look forward to it. Yeah. But hey, we don't want to keep this too long. If you have any questions, more questions, sit it maar nou in. Sit it maar nou in. Forever hold your piece of cake. Ja, mense. Single and motivated. Being single in this landscape. Yeah, that's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. But hey, I think we're going to call it. We're going to wrap it up. Listen, like we always say, know that we are here not just to survive. We are here to thrive. And until next time, peace.